So our next stage is to start to install our valve train. So we have our timing gear, our camshaft, we have our tappets, our push rods, and our valves. So our valves, we're probably gonna not get to that on this section, but we will get our tappets in place. So our tappets are what's gonna ride on those lobes of the camshaft, which are then going to open and close those valves through those rocker arms in front of the push rods. So we want to get those tappets in place first. All right, so once those tappets should slide up to into those two holes there. Our timing gear, remember the timing gear, it's going to have that timing mark. So as we look at this gear, I don't know if we kind of focus this enough, bring that close. See that mark right up on top? So that's our timing mark right there. So we want to make sure that when that gear goes on, again, it fits into that keyway so this gear cannot spin. However, our camshaft can. So we have that timing mark as well on top of our camshaft, and that has to line up with our timing gear. So as we install this, it should fit into one of those holes. And then line up with our gear. So we may need to kind of rotate that crankshaft around in order to get it into the right position for it to line up with that groove on our camshaft, as well as the groove on the timing gear. Remember, this step is crucial for the fact that if we even are a tooth off, this engine will not run, as we kind of saw in last class, where we were just off almost 180 degrees and that engine would not run. So it's important to definitely memorize this step and to double check that you have done this right before we seal that case up. So once our camshaft is in and our timing gear is in, you then kind of turn this up and you kind of see how that kind of goes around like that. So after we have that assembled, we can then take our case, as that's the last component that we're putting in there, and then we could reassemble our case. So our case is going to slide over, and we will have a gasket in place. This gasket was so poor. Actually, it's not too bad. It's still on our case. We want to make sure that's in place. And then we could close this side up, just slide over, and then our cover should slide ideally right into place. Looks like I'm hanging up a little bit on my gear. So sometimes it takes a little finessing even to kind of get over that seal. And once we're over that seal, the cover should pop into place. And we can just make sure we have good motion through that. And then we'll utilize our case screws. And then we'll start to assemble this case. In the next video, we'll kind of start going over building up our cylinder head and the rest of the valve train.